evening, Truck and Tractor Pool. Thank you.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
You're quiet again.
What do you mean I'm quiet again?
I don't know. You were fine before the show, and now your volume's low.
That's typical me. Can you hear me now?
Now I can hear you.
Okay. I got to speak up. I'm tired. I'm sorry. Anyway, we got a special guest tonight, Trackside Live. Jessica Darr is with us tonight. And I'm just going to be the minor party here tonight once we get into talking with her. And I'm going to let her down below me there.
JR is just here from keeping us to talking all night. So
dangerous turning the reins over, JR.
Yeah.
A major task, but anyway. But we had two weekend pools. Shipshewana, I do have all, but I think one of the champions from that weekend. The other one, Williamston, North Carolina, I can't find a result anywhere other than I know Rebecca Brizendine with Footloose and modified four-wheel drive swept the weekend. Otherwise, I couldn't tell you who did what down there. So I looked, I couldn't find anything. But hopefully they'll get them posted soon. But anyway, like, subscribe, share, hit that thumbs up button, and we'll take a look at quite a long list of classes from Shipshewana. The 12,000 King of the Hill, and I believe it's 15 mile per hour, was Phil Hoffman with a Knowledge Chalmers D21, ended up crowning the champion there in that class. Pro Street Diesel 4x4, Ed McConnell with the White Lie Chevy. Some of these names are comical. 1950 Economod Mini modified. Greg Vandervoort, which is a Pennsylvanian. The Boosted Ego tractor took the win in that class, the championship. 9500 Pro Farm, Nick Pickerel with the Burning Cash, and I believe that's a white. There's a little different brand in the winner circle there. 9000 Super Farm, Brad Lundell with Johnny B. Good, obviously a John Deere. 80, do you think? 8,700 pound Light Pro. There's a tractor called Fast Forward, but some guy named Matt Smith. I don't know if we know him or not. But
he is just making headlines everywhere, Yeah.
Show off. But anyway, 93 Super Farm, Josh Miley, no stranger to the winner circle, with the high maintenance Case IH taking the win there. 8,500 Limited Pro, that Matt Smith guy again with Fast Forward, and that would be the other Fast Forward tractor.
Yeah. A little Fast Forward.
The 2050 modified mini rod, Jake Lease with the CN Red tractor took the championship there. Pro Stock Diesel 4x4, me and my writing. Ben Broniker with the Coming At You Dodge took the win there. 6250 limited super stock class. I'm going to try not to butcher this last name. It's Chad Sakow, I believe it's pronounced, with Another Bad Habit. And I believe that also is, no, that is an international. I was thinking of something else. Okay. 9,000 Limited Pro, Matt Smith with Fast Forward was the champion in that class. 10,000 Pro Farm, Tim Vorwar with the Barnyard Buick. That's a cool name. He's been pulling for quite a while. 6,000 Classic Mod was Trevor Zankert with the Life Changer. Limited Pro Stock Diesel 4x4 with CW Cartmel with the Most Hated truck. That's an interesting name. 12,000. You're supposed to laugh. Most Hated. That's funny. That's funny, Kendra. Gosh, woman.
Listen, clearly I'm having issues tonight.
Just tonight? Norm, we got to talk, buddy. Anyway. 12,000 Farm Stock was Kayla Heydrich, and that Heydrich family is no stranger to getting championships at these indoor pools either. With Jenny's Nightmare, John Deere. Let's see, 11,000 Pro Farm is Kevin Stumler with the Mule Deere. 9,500 Hot Farm, Brian Rexing with More Milk Money. 9,000 Pro Farm was Pale Graph with Leftovers. And the only one I don't have, maybe a couple guys that's in the chat, maybe they'll let me know, is the 97 Limited Pro. I saw Tom Gallitz was listed as a winner, and I'm sure that was in session 4, I believe, in one of the qualifiers. So I don't know who was crowned the champion in 97 Limited Pro. If somebody could let us know, we'll get that announced. So.
And I want to give a shout out to Adam Diaz
yes.
in the 87 Light Pro and the 9,000 Limited Pro, I think is what they call it. If Smokey didn't win that flight, Diaz won the opposite flight. So them two are East Coast tractors. They were running strong out there. And I think Adam ended up second in light pro and third in limited pro. So he had a really good weekend too. So give him a little shout out.
Then why didn't you do this? Why?
Because I wasn't prepared.
Well, I have to say that would be a first. So.
Yes. I did. I was able to log into the live stream and watch. I watched Friday night and then both on Saturday, and it was a heck of a show. Sucked not being there, but it was nice being here in the nice warm and not out there in 8-degree weather trying to
driving home and snow.
Winterize tractors and all that kind of fun stuff. Winter pulling is a lot of work. You know, it's a lot of fun, but it is not short on the work. So
it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
A lot of dedication, a lot of work. I'm sorry.
Like the Smith brothers took 8 tractors out there.
And Matt Smith got 5 wins total.
Mm-hmm.
If my
looking at the results 6 times down the track and 5 wins. That's
5 out of 6 is awesome. Great weekend.
No doubt.
Yeah. Well, we'll give him credit where credit's due. He was working hard. Did good.
How'd that green? Never mind. I think it was that. How the Green Ford did this weekend.
The Green Ford was sitting in the shop doing nothing.
I will say we also real quick had a Mason-Dixon truck pulls meeting last night. Well, it was a Mason-Dixon Fairgrounds meeting with the fire company is what it was. And the tables have seriously turned. The fire chief's gone. A lot of things have changed up there. Needed changes. I said it. But so we're starting with a clean slate, and I'll be attending some of the board of directors meetings up there at the fire company as a liaison, if you will, for East Coast Pro Pulling and for the Mason-Dixon truck pulls, as Mike Evans is stepping down as the leader.
Oh, wow. Lots of changes happening out there in your neck of the woods.
I was asked, but, you know, there's already 2 dates there that interfere with East Coast Pro Pulling. So there's already 2 events I can't be there. So I think I'm going to basically help where it can be helped. And I know Brian Greek's involved as well, and he has been kind of an in-charge sort of person. So we'll get through it, and Mike will be there to help when he can. So he's got a daughter wants to show horses and stuff. So that we all know what kind of time that takes. And he has a pulling truck he'd like to go pulling again with. So we understand, and he's been there for 16 years, and it's time for a break. So we're going to help him out best we can. So, but there's going to be some changes. Pulling orders are going to change up a lot. I know there's been a lot of complaints why the big classes run later, and we explained. John Mans was at the meeting last night. We explained to him some of the reasons why Mike did that. It's always financial. Mm-hmm. So for bump ups from smaller classes up to the hotter classes. So we're going to work on that, sponsorships and stuff. So we got some good stuff coming. Hi, Dave Kaufman. Chris Baker's here tonight. Chat's a little slow tonight. I thought everybody was crazy about Trackside Live. Come on in and ask.
Oh, they are. Maybe they're waiting for us. Maybe they don't. No, I'm just kidding.
So in other words, the guy needs to shut up and let the ladies talk. That's what it boils down to. That's all good, man. I'll take a break.
Yeah. Well, I did, to piggyback on what you were saying about all the changes there at Mason-Dixon, and now that Clint just said hi, I noticed that the Buck Motorsports Park announced today their complete schedule. So It looks like they have their lineup all done and everything like that. So
yeah, all the way through, even into October.
Wow.
They've got stuff scheduled, so that's awesome. And he did add some new stuff. You know, they've always had the Diesel Power Fest truck series. Mm-hmm. They also have a gas Power Fest with street gas trucks and stuff like that. So that'll be something new for the Buck. And
I believe there might be some interstate classes there that evening.
I just see a little bit of everything.
There was some whispers happening about that. So
whispers. There's some Snyder County stuff going to be in there. The first big event there, if you will, pulling wise, they have the National Blown Minis there. So summer coming, so that'll be pretty cool.
Ladies' night and JR, right?
Yeah, poor JR. Take him to the cave. So anyway, I I guess last year really I started seeing last season this Trackside Live, and I'm like, some days they fit, some days they don't. But and it was pretty cool because hey, we were starting to get some updates about Interstate, on social media and stuff, and I just met her. I literally just, I guess this past week, friended her on Facebook and started getting to know who she. I don't know who she is, but Kendra, this is your turn. Take her.
This is my turn, and this is my very good friend Jess Darr.
Hello, hello.
Just a little.
Always
I'll let
backwards.
her. Yeah, I'll let her run wild here. But Jess came around I guess a little over a year ago, year and a half ago, and she kind of started hanging around. And oh boy, switching up the orders here.
Oh, I'm gonna have fun with this.
and Jess and I have become pretty good friends here over the last couple weeks, and we talk each other's ear. Oh, geez, we talk each other's ears off. I don't like when you do this.
I know.
So now I want to turn it over to Jess and ask her to give us a little background. She does have a little pulling background, so I'll let her run away with that there. And
yeah,
so Jess, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for having me, you guys. This is another fun first for me, I guess. But yeah, I mean, I grew up in Western PA. My family has a farm out there, and no stranger to pulling. I'd been around it from a young age, and then my dad got involved as I grew a little bit older. So we raise cattle out there and have a grain elevator, and I live out here in Central PA now, but still have some responsibilities back there and all my family. So I do my best to get back there. Yeah. So there's my dad's tractor, Red Rock. That's the most recent tractor that he runs. He got into pulling. He first started in farm stock, a lot like most, when I was a kid, and we'd just go around, to the county fair and things like that. And then in the early 2000s, I guess it was, he helped to fund putting together a limited pro tractor out there in Western PA. And I don't know, I guess a couple of years of traveling around with that tractor, he decided he wanted a little bit of the action. So I don't know, maybe 05 or 06 it was that he first started to build his tractor, that one there. He initially ran it in the hot farm classes. And then, probably, I don't know, 5 or 6 years later, he continued to make improvements and bumped it up and now runs it in, limited pro class. And that's actually a picture from Listy this past summer. My dad was on about a 3-year hiatus or so, and hadn't pulled it. And we finally got him out on the track last summer for a single exhibition run. So that was it. It was fun to see him back out there again. We're kind of poking at him to make sure he's out a little bit more this year. So we're hoping to see him maybe at some of the interstate pools and get him back into the swing of things there. So yeah, it's fun. And then, this whole Trackside Live thing has been a bit of an accident. Heidi Swanevec and I have been good friends for a very long time. We grew up together out there in Somerset County, and she started dragging me along with her to the tractor pulls and the Forester crew. So that's been my reintroduction, I guess, into this crew. But
that Forester crew will just get you involved in all kinds of things, and,
right. Yeah.
and it always leads to good things. So you mentioned that Trackside Live kind of started with the whole Florida deal. So kind of go into that, like where all that started.
Yeah, it was really
or why it started, I guess.
It was a surprise and a total accident, really. I know you're shocked by that, right? Last year over West Palm Beach, we were all down there, and of course Heidi and some of her family had come down, and she said, "Oh, why don't you come down for a long weekend? It'll be fun. This is the first time we're having this pool in West Palm Beach. A lot of folks from here that pull on interstate are coming down, and it'd be just a good little getaway." So I said, "Okay, sure." And I flew down. Meanwhile, they all trucked everything down there, and they pulled in, and that evening we were eating dinner and talking, and Jason Forrester said, we were talking on the way down here, what can we do to just add a little bit more excitement to especially pools like this where, the crowd isn't necessarily around pooling a whole lot, to make it more fun or to better educate them and, build the audience. And he said, we've got this idea that it would be really cool to have somebody down on the trackside, interviewing drivers and just offering some really high level information about what's happening. Nothing too technical, just, what enough for them to understand what's happening. And I said, oh yeah, that would probably really add a lot of interest and be a lot of fun. And the next thing he followed with, as you can predict, was, well, we think we should do that.
He's got a little bit of Corey in him, don't he? Big show.
Make you think it's a really good idea and it's kind of yours. And then, oh yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So without a doubt, I put up a bit of a fight to that and was like, I don't know if I'm the right person for the job. And we got through the weekend and it was a lot of fun and there were a lot of really positive comments coming out of it. And then we got home and one thing led to another. And before long, there were other pools calling to say, hey, would you come and do that here? And then, on the more personal side of it, I've worked in marketing and communications for 20 years now. And some of the pools said, knowing what you're doing and seeing what you're doing on social media with Trackside Live, would you help us promote our pool? So kind of tied it all together and, I've been trying to help get more folks in the stands and continue to create some excitement around, the sport that we all really have a lot of fun with. And so here we are, fast forward.
Yeah. Fast forward a year, and what a year it's been.
Yeah.
And what I really enjoyed down in Florida was, because we were in a new area, a new place. Nobody knew anything about any of us really, except for, of course, what they see on social media, was you are very good at interviewing everybody there, everybody involved. You had interviews from the sled guys, from pullers, she had me out there. And, you talked to everybody. You talked to even the guys out on the track, so the guys on the track could explain what they were doing in between. And that's something that a lot of fans that go to these pools don't know, or, to make it interesting. And, I always joke, because you do it up here at some of the interstate pools too. I always come up and say that I'm Vern's interview because I know Vern Zerby will never get on the mic. So
Vern has not been on the mic with me yet.
Yeah. And that might take some bribery.
Right. We'll have to work on that this summer.
Yeah. And that's something, that really does, that really needs to happen around here. Pulling is getting a lot bigger of a crowd. You see it everywhere.
Yeah, the track chicks. Yeah. Well, I mean, to that end, what Ray Kaufman's saying here is, Heidi and I kind of tag team this, and I couldn't do it. I could not do what you're talking about without her. She is out there. She's the one that's strong arming you guys to come over and get on the mic with me while I'm in the middle of interviewing somebody else. So it definitely is a team effort, and the support of everybody really has been really positive. I know a lot of people that have gotten on the mic that's really just not something that they traditionally would do. But, as the summer's worn on, I've had guys coming up and saying, hey, if you need me to talk tonight, let me know, I'm around. So we're getting used to it. Yeah.
I have somebody, not the butt in, I have somebody that we need to get you working on to get on this show. So.
Okay.
And Kendra knows who I'm
talking
about.
It's not going to happen.
It's going to happen one day.
He's talking about Norm. It's not.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
But Ray, I was trying to block out that memory of being the lineup person at West Palm Beach.
Just having flashbacks.
Now I'm going to have nightmares again.
PTSD.
But no, it's okay. But again, we were kind of already talking about this, but you also do announcing too. And you are very good at it, have a very nice voice for the mic, I guess we'll call it. So you've been doing that at a couple local pools here. Is that something that you see Trackside Live doing more and more of? Like, is that part of your package deal, or? Yeah,
I mean, there was literally no organization to this in the last year, truly. I mean, we were winging it all summer long, and it was a lot of fun. I think I think headed into 2022, we're definitely working on taking a more strategic approach to things. And, there's a lot more people inquiring about what we're doing, and we're seeing growth on our social media, and just trying to come up with fun new content that people will engage with. The announcing piece, we did that demo up at the farm show that you mentioned in last week's show, and that was a lot of fun, and I think really educational. And just continuing to get in front of people at the pools locally, I think has been really positive. I mean, we probably did 6 or 8 last season, and it just adds a level of interest. And, the last thing you want your audience to do is to disengage in the middle of a pool. Like if there's a breakdown and a tractor needs to come off the track, or, there's, you've got to load weight to the sled or something like that. You can fill that time by introducing them to one of the drivers or whatever it might be. And, it just keeps the night rolling along and makes for a really enjoyable experience. And we've had a lot of good feedback with it. So we'd love to continue doing that more and more as time goes on, for sure. Yeah.
So now you
sounds like a good idea for Keystone Nationals.
We've tossed that around, and I said I'm happy to help. However, wherever I can best serve, I'm happy to jump in.
Can you run a video camera?
Making that broad of a statement.
Really dangerous territory, I know, right? But no, I can't say enough about just the Foresters, especially. They're constantly giving me ideas and connecting me with people, and helping feed me information like, hey, you should talk about this, or did you cover that, or whatever it is. And the whole community, the interstate community in general, everybody's just been really good about things, and tolerates us being there heckling them. So that's always good too, right?
Yeah, because you're even gathering up information on each of the pullers. Like I remember you had like puller sheets, we'll call it, where it has a little bit of information about, the puller in themselves, the pulling vehicle, where they're from, and all that kind of stuff. And that's what it takes, to make what you're doing work.
Yeah, we have a running catalog of pullers that we see frequently, that we're constantly adding information to and updating, where they stand in the points, or, if they've had any big wins recently or anything like that. And, there's homework to it for sure. And it takes time, but it's a lot of fun. I've learned myself a lot about some of the pullers in the area, really cool stories about them pulling the tractor out of a salvage yard, or sitting in the middle of a farmer's field with a tree growing up through it, or, whatever it might be. And that's just really cool stuff. I think the audience is really intrigued to hear that too, that's not involved in the pulling community, to know those things.
Yeah. And it makes the show so much better. There's definitely people in the crowd that are there to watch the pool, to watch the tractors and all that. But they're also dragging along, wives, girlfriends, or family members, brothers, sisters, whatever.
Yeah.
That need that extra to make it more of a pulling experience.
Yeah. I always laugh. My sister's sister-in-law, if you can connect all the dots on that, from back home, she wanted to come watch one of my dad's pools, and she was all excited because we were taking her to the tractor races. So, if we can get folks on track and just engage them, it's a win-win, right? So
yeah, absolutely. And it was something, with me being such a fan of pulling, I never realized it was missing until, going to some of these events that you and Heidi worked at. And it's like, this was the missing piece that nobody knew that was missing. Oh, hi, Logger John. Oh, we got somebody from the Pittsburgh side of Pennsylvania on tonight.
My neck of the woods out there.
Yep.
Somerset County in here. Yeah.
Somerset County. So speaking of Florida, you have a couple big events getting ready to happen. You want to go ahead and talk about that?
Yeah, we're really excited.
You and the Flyers here, JR.
Yeah.
That was for the end of the show, but okay.
Well, you
silly lady. That's okay. Go ahead. We'll go with the first one, February 18th and 19th.
Yeah, so we are back in West Palm Beach again with Diesel Motorsports. That is actually this is year 2 for that particular pool, so we're really excited to be headed back to West Palm Beach, the raceway there in Palm Beach.
Don't
It was
forget the
brand new.
alligators.
Yes, yes. Well, we retitled it this year the South Coast Gator Nationals, and there is a reason. So we'll see what happens with that this year. But there's a little, waterway of some sort that runs kind of down there along the side of the track, and there was definitely a pretty good-sized gator lurking around throughout that weekend. So.
It's okay because her name is Princess, and Princess won't eat you because she's a princess.
That's good to know. I hadn't made that close of friends with her, so I'll keep that in mind if we see her this year. But we were down there for the first time last year, rather, and Diesel Motorsports comes in and helps to host that, and of course, they run drags and do a show and shine during the day on Saturday there. So Saturday is definitely a full day event. A lot of diesel and gas trucks that come in. And then both Friday and Saturday evening is when we get into the pulling side of things. And, we've got we had a really nice turnout last year as far as pullers go. We're hoping for the same or better again this year. A good assortment of classes, 10,000 Pro Farm, 11,000 Hot Stock, Mod Turbos, the light limbs, 7,800 mods, those 4,500 small block 4-wheel drive trucks, the 6,200 2-wheel drives, and then Ron and the Diesel Motorsports crew, they're very big into the truck side of things, so they'll have the work and the hot work stock, and then the 2.6 and the 3.0 trucks as well. So, we're looking forward to getting back down there again, and really expecting a really good turnout. The interest there last year was really solid. We had a great audience, and they were enthusiastic. They were there for it for sure, and they were cheering on the pullers and engaging, in the pits, and it was just a really fun weekend. So I would highly encourage anybody that wants to just get out of the cold to come south and definitely put that on the to-do list or on the calendar to visit us there. From what I understand, there's unprecedented amount of people from the Northeast in Florida right now escaping the cold and just, all of the craziness. And we're hoping for an even better turnout this year.
It's called snowbirds.
That's right. The snowbirds are all flown south. So, yeah.
RV in the building. I'm ready to go.
Yeah. Logger John just asked, and for everybody else who's joining late, this is Jess Darr, and she is the mastermind behind Trackside Live. What else is your official
entirely
title?
Too much pressure on there because I don't want people to be disappointed.
Oh, no disappointment. And I don't think we actually mentioned this. You can find her on Facebook, Trackside Live. Trackside is one word. She's doing an excellent job. She always has new posts, new videos, and she's very engaging, which is what the pulling world needs.
I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Yep. Do you want to hit your second pull, or
yeah,
is that
so
are we not
actually,
doing that either?
The week before West Palm Beach, we've got a brand new pull coming up. A puller from the state of Illinois, Mark Kelsey, is actually putting that together. It's going to happen in Palatka at the Putnam County Raceway, and that's about 40 minutes from St. Augustine, about an hour from Daytona. It's pretty centrally located there between like Jacksonville, Gainesville, St. Augustine, and Daytona Beach. So a really nice spot. And from what I understand, an excellent facility. He'll be running pretty much the same classes that we'll see at West Palm Beach. And I know that we've got a whole lot of pullers that are going to, make it a mini series essentially and come down and be at Putnam County and then head to West Palm Beach the following weekend. So we expect this one to be a really great time as well, and are looking forward to extending our stay down there and making a little week and a half of it. So we're excited to see where this one goes for sure.
And you said, I believe you mentioned that they're actually going to be doing drag racing both days. Correct. That's
what I understand. I know there's still, with this being new, there's still some details that are in play and getting worked out, but they are to also be hosting drag races. And interestingly enough, it won't just be trucks, but you see on the flyer there, they're going to be dragging side-by-side UTVs as well. And that's something personally I've not seen before. So I'm kind of excited to get to catch that as well. So yeah.
Been there, done it.
What'd you say, JR?
Been there, done that. Excuse me. Even in reverse. Well,
And let's be real, they have the ultimate village idiot truck on the flyers, so
How
you
I
about
know
was
it's
that,
going
going
to
to
right?
say
be.
that, but I was going to whisper it. I wasn't going to put it out for public hearing.
Hey, I'll throw Ian out there any day of the week.
Yeah, yeah. So we know Ian's making the trip to Florida. Dale Forrester, Kirsty Robinson. Obviously, the rest of the Forrester pulling team is going to be down there. Scott Cascadin. The Stoners are headed down with their trucks. The Smiths from Fast Forward are making the trip. The stable of Covage tractors are headed south. I believe Utzi's and Varner's are also coming down. And I'm not sure if I had heard that maybe Shives were bringing their truck down. So there's a pretty good crew, and that's just most immediately some of the folks that I know are in for the trip south to the warm weather and in the fun in the sun. So.
Yeah, I know they were trying to really wrangle up some pullers. It definitely helps that they're back-to-back weekends.
Yep.
Florida is a long drive, but when you can get two good pulls within essentially a week of each other, that's definitely a bigger draw there too. So I'm assuming you'll be doing kind of the same thing you were doing last year, the Trackside Live side of it, with posting and then announcing and all that kind of good stuff too.
Yeah, we'll be doing some advanced promotion around both of these pools. So stay tuned to our social media in general. And then we'll actually be doing some targeted stuff down there in Florida ahead of both of those pools to try to make sure we can pack the stands as best we can for everybody to come out and have a great time and cheer on all the pullers that have driven the distance. And then we'll definitely be on the track for West Palm Beach, and we're working out the details as to whether or not we'll be on the track at Putnam County too. So yeah, either way, we're there for it. You do not have to twist my arm to escape the 20-some degree weather right now and go down and get into some warmer temperatures for sure.
So I guess we'll move into next regular season. I forget who I was talking to, but we joked, I think it was actually Smokey Smith, that there is no more off season in pulling. We stopped pulling in October. I was in Georgia in November, and here it is 2 months later, and we're already pulls happening every weekend.
Yeah.
So where do you see Trackside Live kind of fitting in? Like, I know last season you were primarily interstate because that's who you knew.
Yep.
And we're pretty great people, but just throw that out there.
Right.
But where do you see
I would go along with
Live?
that.
Where do you see Trackside Live going, this season and maybe even beyond? Like, what, do you have goals? What are your aspirations?
I mean, I think it's a work in progress, for sure. And I think ultimately for me, especially with the family that I have in the western half of the state and some of the folks that I know are out there pulling, I'd love to be able to share this story a little bit more completely for Pennsylvania and even the Mid-Atlantic. Over the last year or year and a half, I've met a lot of really awesome people from Maryland and Virginia too. So, if I can help, give everybody a little bit of recognition and build excitement around all of the cool things that they're doing, that's definitely where I'd love to be is, covering PA, Maryland, and Virginia kind of collectively. Still very heavy in interstate because that's really where we are and that's where the bulk of our activity is. But, even last weekend through Ship Shawana, I encourage people, and my goal is to this summer have, a way that folks traveling around when we can't be there can send us, pictures and videos that they've caught along the way that we can share and just, build a bit of a community around Trackside Live and make it a bit of a platform just for everybody to hop on board and share all the fun that we're having throughout the season. So, I think that's what we're steering towards. TBD, stay tuned,
Yeah. Yeah, go give her a like and you'll see it all for yourself.
Yeah.
And you and I kind of talked about this last night. Pulling is so rich here in Pennsylvania, Maryland, Virginia. There's what, 5 organizations within a couple hours of each other. there's so much pulling and so much, history here too. Look at Papa Smurf. He's known all over just because of his story.
Yeah.
We went to Louisville, Kentucky with it in 2018, and you couldn't believe the amount of people from Kentucky, Tennessee, and all that kind of stuff that came over. And we're like, we've been watching Papa Smurf since the 80s. And I'm like,
right.
Because to me, it's Jason, like.
Yeah, it's incredible when you start to dig into the family tradition and just the generations that have come up in the sport, and they continue to keep it alive, and that's really cool. We started a series last summer, with all the hashtags going around. We kind of tagged it what's in a name Wednesday. So every few Wednesdays we'd run a feature on a particular vehicle and driver, and kind of just highlight the story behind the name of the vehicle, just because I think a lot of folks, there's a lot of fun there, and there's a lot of backstory there, where those names come from. So we started doing that, and then just diving into how the vehicle and the driver kind of paired up, and what they've been up to, and that went over really well. We had a lot of really good response to that. That's something I expect and hope to make a more consistent effort towards in 2022, and then add more things like that tell the personal side of pulling for the fans. So it's a balance between giving the content that the pullers want to see, posting the results, and then telling the stories that the fans want to see too.
Yeah, and actually, your What's in a Name Wednesday, I think is what you call it. You did one on Steve Beckley, and I had no idea that my dad was the person who named his tractor. So I learned something.
You learn something every day, right? Yeah.
I was like, what? But it made sense because, my dad and Dale were still pulling at the same time Steve was building his. And, my dad's tractor was the first one Steve drove and all that kind of fun stuff. So it made sense, but I never made the connection. And clearly it was my dad. So.
Yeah, that's really cool. I mean, if I can teach Kendra something, I guess I have success, that was a really well received. That was a really well received story. We just started our Facebook page specifically back in like mid to late May, and we're pushing over 3,500 fans now, which doesn't sound like a lot, but in the short span of the season, it's continued to grow. And then even over Ship Shawana, we really saw a good amount of growth because we were sharing results and content. But, that was probably one of the stories that we shared that we were like, oh my gosh, look at this. I mean, like 12 or 15,000 people had engaged with that story. And we were like, this is so cool, So it's fun to see those things happen, and the stories kind of circulate out through the fans and the pullers.
And I think that's how you really grow a solid fan base, is you make these people. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's, when everybody asks me what I love about pulling so much, it's the people. Yeah. And it's because, there's a lot of really good people in the sport of pulling. And so many of the fans just know them as, they don't know them as, we'll keep saying Jason. They don't know him as Jason Forrester. They know him as Papa Smurf.
Right.
Or they know Smokey as Fast Forward. And there's so much more to these guys than just their pulling world. Yeah. And it's really awesome that you're giving light to that side of it.
It's a lot of fun. It's really, like anything, it's about relationships. And I think that's what makes us all really enjoy the sport so much. That, like you said, the people and the relationships. And, if we can continue to connect the fans with the drivers and build some sort of a connection there, I think the longevity of the sport will be a lot more solid, because they'll forever be behind the sport, which is really cool. So if I can play, if we can with Trackside Live play even a really small role in that, I think that's pretty good stuff.
Yeah. And, the way the pulling is evolving, or the way the whole world is, everything is social media nowadays. You know what I mean? Like, it is no longer just going to the track on Saturday night. People want to be into it every day of the week. Yeah. And that's the only way to get the next generation to stay involved in the sport. It really is.
Instant gratification too. I can tell you, after we first started down the rabbit hole of posting, some of the interstate results on the weekends, that we would have we'd have messages coming in if we weren't up to speed on where were the results, right? So,
Yeah. I mean, I get mad if I don't see the results.
yeah, they definitely keep you on your toes for sure. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Or, they'll ask me who was there, who won, or, and I'm like, I have no clue. So
Yeah, right.
I'm like, wait, what?
We're too busy with everything else. So it's just, it just makes it easy to have it all there. We live in this very instant gratification world. So to be able to just post it up while we're there is just easy, and it makes it more engaging for anybody that can't be there for sure. And I still see people that are literally 12 feet away down the track, liking the results I posted 5 minutes ago. So,
I mean, I'm probably guilty of that.
Everybody's always connected, so it's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Trackside Live is doing great things, and I'm not saying that because you're my friend. I'm saying that because it's what, like I said, it's what nobody knew pulling needed, except for that freaking Jason Forrester, man.
Yeah, I mean, no, if we could just figure out how to make us all millionaires off of it, we'll be in good shape, I guess. But it was just a really cool thing. I don't think I mean, Heidi and I definitely did not see, the opportunity coming along with it, and didn't expect it. It just has kind of happened on its own, and that's been a really fun thing to watch unfold. I think one of the things I'm looking forward to most in 2022 is, maybe trying to team up with some of the other groups a little bit and cross promote. The more we can spread the word about all of the cool things happening across the area, then, the better it is for the sport. So if we can link up with some of the other associations that are doing pretty good stuff, it's a win-win for everybody.
I might know a couple East Coast pullers. Just one or two.
Throwing that out there.
He won't get on the mic, but I know a couple.
We'll work on that.
John Mans gives halfway decent interviews.
I saw Norm at Easton, Maryland when he won 2018, somewhere around that time frame.
Yeah.
The announcer was out on the track, big guy, and Norm talked. Mm-hmm. That guy didn't give him a chance to walk by. He made him stop and talk.
Yeah, I'll never let him forget Shipshawana last year whenever he thanked everybody but me, and that was hurtful. But we'll forgive him.
Oh, boy.
Maybe. I'll keep bringing it up, but
you still got to do a little refining with him. He's getting there.
Yeah, he did better at Ceilings Grove. He made sure to thank me there. So, and we'll see about Louisville. So
there you go.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. There you go. We'll be pulling for you.
Yeah. So should we also talk about another big event coming up? The background here. Jess is a little involved in that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
I guess that's coming up in March, right?
So, yeah, I think it's coming up in like 2 months, I think you're a little involved there, so if you want to drum up some business there too.
Yeah, one of the ways that I'm involved with all three, the 2 Florida pools and Keystone as well, is, just to help raise some sponsorship support for the pools. So for Keystone, we have a whole package of options and opportunities for businesses that want to get involved. There's a great audience, as you guys well know, that turn out for that pool, typically upward of 10,000 people across those 3 days. And it's just a really good opportunity for a lot of different businesses, not necessarily just a business that services, the pooling industry, but, with the fan base that comes in there, there's definitely a great opportunity to get out in front of them. So we have some really good packages available. Folks can contact myself or Jason Forrester about that. And then likewise, if anybody is looking to get their name out in front of the folks down in Florida, there's lots of opportunities there too. Specifically with Keystone, we have all of the details out on the Keystone pool website. So it's KeystoneNationalsPool.com. And you can actually go to the sponsor vendor page and get all the details about, what sponsorships are available, exhibit space, print ads, the whole 9 yards. So So yeah, it's good stuff.
Sorry, I'm
Don't
responding to
stop
people
now. Don't stop
who are
now.
texting instead of getting in the comments. But we
Uh-oh.
appreciate you watching, Kevin Nouse.
I knew those hecklers were going to be tuning in here. I was getting a lot of activity from the peanut gallery leading up to the live. So yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, we say that Pulling has a lot of good people, and then there's people like Kevin Nouse. So we'll just leave it at that.
You know, he might be he loves to chat. I have no problem getting that guy on the mic. He might be a prime candidate for coming on your show sometime if you ever need somebody.
We'd have to keep it appropriate. That's the worry with getting some people on here.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm just kidding. Kevin did really good. I'll give credit where credit's due at the pulling demonstration. He did a very good job explaining the sled to everybody.
Yeah.
And I wish that was something that an actual tractor pull allowed more time for, because so many people just do not know. And, we get a lot of questions here on our show about how the pulling sled works and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool stuff when you start to dig into some of the mechanics behind it and just the sheer weight of it and things like that. Yeah, it's pretty interesting for sure.
Yeah, we'll give him credit where credit's due. He did very good there.
I jokingly told them that I was going to come in here and reveal all of their secrets today. So we have a lot of fun ahead of the live here, but yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
There was something I thought of earlier, and then now I'm struggling to remember. Look, he finally got on the comments.
Yeah.
There he is.
Good job, Kevin. For those who don't know, Kevin Nouse is with the Terminator sled, and they were a big integral part of getting the pulling demonstration together at the farm show.
Yeah. Allison Sled Rental and Forester Farm Equipment were our two primary sponsors there, and we had a great turnout for that demo. We were really tickled with the results, and you guys highlighted this last week, but just the amount of interaction and questions. After the pool, when they had the opportunity to come down on the track with everybody, it was really cool to see.
And I was surprised at how many people came down on the track.
Yeah.
It was 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. And I'm thinking all these people have been here all day. They're going to go home. People hung around there for a lot longer than I was expecting. So.
Yeah, they really did. They definitely took advantage of the opportunity. And, you're right there in Center City, Harrisburg. So, it was really cool to be able to take those tractors and trucks and let them get up close and personal and meet the drivers and ask questions and get pictures and things like that. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Sure. Had a really good question there. What regions does Trackside Live cover?
Yeah, so we are basically covering primarily Pennsylvania, Maryland, and Virginia at this time. I guess, we've got a couple of interstate pools over in West Virginia, so we will, dance over that way a little bit too. So that's basically the mainstay of where we're at right now, but we're open to anything. So yeah, reach out for sure if you've got something going on and we can help.
Well, and you and I touched on this, in today's social media age, you can help promote any kind of pools just because, it's all if that ugly C word taught us one thing, it's that everything can be done over the internet.
Totally. Yeah, virtual everything for sure. We had some interest in some Midwestern states last summer, but they fell over a couple of things we already had scheduled. But yeah, from the keyboard at here in Pennsylvania and Central PA, we can help out with all kinds of things. We are able to do graphic design, social media promotion, some simpler video production, certainly not on the level of like the class videos that JR does, but some of the promo videos and things like that. We're able to throw together. So yeah, it's pretty good stuff. Everything just ships back and forth electronically, so it makes life easy.
You brought up the C word there, which we're talking about COVID. one of our helpers, one of my main video guys that helps me, Mike Walker, lost his brother yesterday morning.
Oh goodness.
Just want to pitch that.
So sorry to hear that, Mike.
Thoughts and prayers to the Walker family.
Yeah, for sure. It's been a tough couple of years.
Yeah.
Minnesota or Wisconsin?
Hey, we're open to whatever we can do. Those are two states I've not spent any time in either. And that's been a fun part of this. We were at a pool in Alabama last year, and I've not been to Alabama. So that's a lot of fun when you can do something you're enjoying and, take a couple of more states off the list. So yeah, for sure. Reach out on Facebook, Trackside Live, and we'll be happy to chat.
I'm telling you, we're going to get you. Georgia was a good time last year, and we are going to Canada.
I'm definitely down for the Canada
your
trip.
Your hope.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hopefully,
sure.
Again, that ugly C word goes away.
Yeah.
And we can get into Canada.
That's one thing I've missed with ticket sale calls coming in here. I've not had any Canadian customers yet because getting out of the country is very hard to do. So, yeah.
Time will tell.
Unfortunately. Yeah, they're always a treat to talk to.
I've heard it's a lot of fun to get up there to those pools in the summer months.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, boy. We might have to put the cameras away, after a certain time frame. We talked about, making, that's not the image that a lot of us would want portrayed. So.
Right. Yeah.
We'll stick to the fun, the picnic on the tailgate of the haulers versus.
Right. Yeah, that was a good fun time. Yeah, our little end of season tailgate there coming out of Harrisonburg after the last interstate pool. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Sure. We went through what was that restaurant called? The
Cookout.
The Cookout, and ordered 10 meals in my Jeep.
Oh my.
It was so much fun. And I tell you what, how they got all that food out and right in that short amount of time, I'll never understand it.
Yeah.
But
what they get paid to do, right?
Dropped the ramp down halfway on the back of the trailer and set up our little picnic table there in the parking lot. It was a lot of fun.
And the Mexican restaurant with the Howard Johnson right next door. Only one person came out of their room and they didn't have a gun. So we're going to call it a win.
He probably was like, I don't know what's going on over there, but I'm not asking any questions. So.
Yeah. I'm going to shut this door and go back to bed.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Pulling is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful sport. And
it's a lot of fun in one big family. Yep.
Yeah, no doubt, for sure. It's just meeting everybody at the pools is so much fun, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Canada pools. If you have never been to a Canadian pool, I cannot recommend it more. I can't remember the name of the place that I went last year, but it's the McGrath's hometown pool. That's all I remember. They have a bunch of French fries up there. That's all I know. There's potatoes everywhere. Which I had no idea that Canada and Maine were such a potato area, but apparently they are. Pulling is educational too.
That's great. You get to see and experience a lot of places maybe you wouldn't have otherwise. Mm-hmm. That's for sure. Yeah. That was kind of the experience when we pulled into Alabama last year. It was barely out of Florida, but we went back these dirt roads and we weren't quite sure where we were going to end up. And then we pulled in and there was such a crowd there so early in the day. We thought for sure they must have had, something else going on, but people were just that enthusiastic to get out and see the pools. And we unfortunately got rained out there the second day, but it was really a fun experience. Being able to see new places and new people for sure is pretty cool. And that's what I think is going to be really great about Florida. The more folks we can get from different regions to bring their trucks and tractors down and join in, the better the show for the audience and the more fun we're all going to have. So I encourage everybody to head south if they can here in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, well, it is very interesting to get in front of new people. Even, for me, who's been pulling around, lots of years, and to,
Come
to
on.
go to as many new places as I've been able to
Come
go, like it's pulling in, even some parts of West Virginia is so completely different than pulling, here in Franklin County. And, like I went out to a couple, the big PPL hooks and all that kind of stuff. And I think you and I were talking like how different of a pull Louisville is versus how different it is from like Gordiwana.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much difference in the shows, even in the same vehicles competing.
Yeah,
And
you definitely never get the same experience twice,
oh yeah, no. We were talking last week with Joan and Andy about Sugar Grove, West Virginia. Hey, that was a pull. You want to talk about boondocks. When the instructions are you go from the blacktop road to the stone road to the dirt road, cross over the cattle gate, and then drive through the field. That's backwoods.
You're going to have a good time there, right?
Yeah. Except I got put on the microphone to announce, and yeah, it was
not that far off of Needmore.
Needmore's.
Yeah, that's an interesting trip to that little spot for sure.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll ever see Corey Forrester at Needmore again.
I'm not sure either. I wasn't going to mention any names, but
oh boy.
It was not necessarily the easiest to find. And when you're navigating around in a rig, it's a whole different ball of wax, that's for sure.
Or when you think you're supposed to be at East Waterford and you're actually supposed to be at Needmore.
Yeah, well, it happens.
Oh, Corey. East Waterford's over here, Needmore's over here. It was just...
He still made it, though. That's what matters.
He still made it.
He did. Yep. Yeah, and we had a great time. That was a fun night as well. Kind of later there in the season, I think. What were we, September there?
Yeah, it was September 11th. It was 9/11.
Oh, you're right. That's right. Yep.
Yeah, because it was like the Patriot Day or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Is there anything else you want to cover with the Trackside Live side of things?
I don't, I just appreciate the opportunity. Yeah, I mean, I just appreciate the opportunity to come on and talk about the pulls in Florida. I think, we are all really excited to get down there and have a couple of really good shows. So if anybody has been on the fence about it, I highly encourage it, whether it's just to come and join in and have some fun for the weekend, or bring a truck or tractor down. It's a lot of fun, and you can't beat the weather, and and looking forward to Keystone. I think these are going to be 3 really great pools to start off what I think is going to be a lot of fun this season. So I'm excited to be a little bit more involved, and if because of COVID or other things, you're taking precautions and can't get out, follow along on any of the live streams that you can, and stay tuned to, all of our different social media channels, and get all the news on it. So
I know somebody that'll be there videotaping all of the Keystone Nationals classes. So I'm sure those videos.
I'm not going.
Oh, whatever.
Scheduled for that
I'm
weekend.
Kidding.
So.
I'm kidding.
That would be like me saying I'm not going to Keystone Nationals. Right. Although there would have been a time where I'd have said I'd have never missed a Gordyville poll. And
yeah, same here. Yeah.
Unfortunately, I got a new job, and it's a job I cannot turn down in the summer. And
life gets busy.
Yeah, yep. I'm sad that you're not going to be showing your face in Florida. So
I know, it's very, very sad. You'll have to FaceTime me, and I can give an interview through the phone. I don't know if that would ever work.
Idea.
There we go.
Right here.
Yeah, we could do a live.
Right here, we could do a live.
There you go.
We here, right here on the show.
Or something from Florida. Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. That'd be a Wednesday, though. We can always shift our day to.
It will be a Wednesday, and
Jess can we can do an interview with Jess while she's sitting by the pool and enjoying the warm weather,
rubbing it in, right?
My
Yeah.
umbrella drink.
We're up here in snow. Hopefully not.
I'll try not to rub it in too much, you know.
Oh, I'm sure you won't.
Yeah, that could be fun. Definitely. If there's some way we can make that happen, I say
We'll make it happen. It's
for
just a matter of me sending you a link, and
yeah.
if you got service, all you do is sign like you did tonight, and you'll be live.
Well, and we could even do like a party thing, because you'll be down there with a bunch of pullers. Like, you know, I'm gonna know a couple guys are all staying down, and
family friendly.
We could really have some fun with that.
Family friendly. Yeah, that would be awesome.
Get some village idiots on here.
That's right. Ian's always a lot of fun to talk to, for sure. And
there'll
be a lot of great people down there too, that we can wrangle into making a little guest appearance, for sure. Yeah, let's work out those details. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Sounds like a plan.
Cool.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, big whiskey bottle. They definitely like their alcohol across the border there in Canada.
You bet.
I've heard the stories.
Randy Proctor, you're one of the guys I was thinking about on this, who the 97 Limited Pro Champion was at Shipshewana. Would you happen to know that answer, Randy? That's the only one I couldn't come up with.
Look at that. We made it a very easy hour there. See, I knew me.
This is the easiest hour I've had on this show. I loved it. Come back next week.
I'll take that as testimonial. Thank you.
I think I sent a message to Brian Rutroff. I was going to say Rutrow, but I don't want to pick on him. Then he won't come on the show. Rutroff, at the first or second Wednesday in February, we're going to have him on.
Nice.
For the upcoming Old Dominion complex in Chatham, Virginia. The upcoming Southern Virginia Classic. That's what it is. Antique pool, March 3rd, 4th, and 5th. So that's going to be. I'm going to be busy 2 weeks there.
Yeah.
Because I want to be there, come home, go right to Keystone. So that's okay.
'Tis the season.
Yeah.
Yep. 'Tis the season.
That's right.
Hopefully the phone doesn't get too busy.
Hey, that's a
well,
good
I hope it does, but you know, I don't have ticket sale help anymore. Kendra.
No.
It'll be okay.
Like I said, just be careful what you wish for when you say you can help with anything at Keystone.
Within reason, you know.
Reason? What is that?
I keep hearing that for some reason. I keep hearing
that.
I would like to find somebody that follows or can follow the interstate circuit that can run a video camera good. That's what I would like to find. Because it didn't pan out for me last year. I was hoping to have somebody pretty constant going over there, but it didn't work out.
Yeah, I agree. I think that'd be a really great addition. So let's continue the conversation on that as well, JR, for sure. Yeah. I'm not saying
shut me up quick.
That person.
Oh no, I think she's saying we'll talk more about that off air.
Yeah. I'm that person, but I'll find somebody that is that person.
Said Clint Yance was at that pay. You have to actually get off the vehicle, Clint, and do the work.
Hey, that could be a cool video, him on the scraper tractor, you know.
It's definitely a different angle, right?
Yeah. This angle doesn't change much, trust me. Just watch some of the videos that's been put on here from the Buck. Look in the background at the starting line. You'll see Clint on the tractor waiting.
There you go.
But
you
anyway,
might be able
wow.
to do that.
There you go.
I'm sure. I got a GoPro now. Maybe get a couple more
for
our RV channel. I bought her a GoPro, so
cool. Yeah, those are fun.
Yeah, they are. They're blasting.
Yeah, you can do all kinds of good stuff with those. We've got a couple of ideas we're working on that'll be a little bit different. So we think that'll be fun this summer. So stay tuned. I'm not going to say too much because I don't know if it's going to work yet, but we're in the experimental phase. So
Cindy sent me a funny thing on Messenger, and it keeps sending and sending.
Really?
Yeah, and I even removed it twice, and it comes back and resends and resends. I don't know what's going on.
Huh.
That's what all the dinging's going on. It's crazy.
Oh.
Can't get it to
Interesting.
stop. So, wow, hour and 5 minutes.
How about that? Time flies when you're having fun, I guess.
There you go. Mount a camera to the front of the scraper tractor.
There you go. Again, like a totally different angle. You never know what you're going to see. So,
True.
Yeah,
Very
that
true.
could be your starting line camera.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's a whole different view for sure.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Editing takes long enough.
Yeah.
But anyway, well, I'm all out of words. You all just talk me
I was
to
going to
death.
say, yeah. I mean, we could gossip, but that's not what this show's about. So.
As far as you know,
Yeah.
it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
Ah,
That's the After Dark edition.
Oh, jeez.
oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure Greg would. Yep. They
Say
got two tractors to
GoPros
test
sure
it.
did a lot for the pulling world too. Like there's a lot of ride along videos and stuff.
Oh yeah, it's pretty
There's
cool.
a lot of really fun stuff. Yeah, for sure.
I didn't really buy it for the pulling world. I bought it for her to do our RV stuff, but you just never know. I'll end up having to buy my own. So.
Well, there you go.
Not that I didn't buy that one. Just kidding, dear. I know you're listening.
You're going to be in hot water later.
Never. Too old for that stuff. But, gosh, you covered all the bases. I had a couple of questions, but Kendra covered it. You did a good job tonight, Kendra. So,
We were very well prepared.
well, with your 3 or 4 hour phone call last night, I think we practiced pretty well, don't you think?
Yeah, we did. We definitely had a good trial run for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, we knew everything we were going to talk about and what we weren't.
But see, here I had no idea that you went beyond the social media thing with your Trackside Live. I had no idea you announced or.
Yeah, and
I had no idea.
That's why she had to come on.
Yeah, the social media actually came after the announcing, believe it or not. So
How about
yeah,
that? See, I didn't know.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that was the surprise. Welcome to Florida. Thanks for coming for a vacation weekend. That was my first gig. So,
That's cool.
yeah.
Just dive in and go. That's the way you do
right.
it.
You just got to
That's
roll
awesome.
with it. Yeah.
You must be doing good because I haven't heard a single bad thing about it. So
Well, that's good. I guess the key will be if we see what kind of turnout you have next week, or if I've chased all your fans off. So.
it's Club Kendra that has the fans. I'm just the guy that
They're just here
punches
for
the buttons
Kendra,
there and
right?
brings it up. Like, I'm sure you've heard about the calendar that she has neglected for the
I
last 2
actually would
seasons.
love to
now.
be able to do some advertising for that said calendar when the time comes. So
See?
we'll do some promotion around that for sure.
You're turning red, Kendra. For the
I
first
think we're
time.
still in the negotiation phase of the calendar. And there just hasn't been enough give and take on my side. So.
Well, I'm here for it. So whatever happens. Yep.
Ay, ay, ay. Life is fun.
I smell an
stuff.
interesting time with that.
Maybe when we're in Canada. We'll get a
That might be the place. Yeah.
Wouldn't be the same. See there, ding. I guarantee you. I can't get it to stop doing. I don't know. I guess I have to go to her to get her on her phone. Hey, take that off. You're listening, please. But anyway, okay. I don't want to. We're at an hour and 10 minutes. I don't want to hold everybody
Yeah.
up.
Yep.
There, so.
Yeah. Thanks
Thank you
again.
very much for coming on. Gosh.
Yeah, I appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah.
I'm glad you didn't have to take your rolling pin down and beat anybody with it.
I know, right? Yeah.
Yet we're not weaning off the air yet.
Mine, yeah.
I'm surprised that Club Kendra is quiet over here in the chat tonight. I've seen a couple of them that were in there. And
Yeah.
Yes, Clint, it's on the way. It'll be here probably in another 3 or 4 hours or so. It's supposed to start
Oh, the
snowing here, so
smell. Yeah.
sick of
Ugh.
it every other day already. I mean,
All
it's
the more
gone right
reason,
now, but
all the more reason to get to Florida.
Yep.
rub it in. We were supposed to be a couple weeks ago, but
There's,
it didn't happen.
there's still time. There's still time. So,
Yeah.
and flights are cheap. So,
Ah, man, I'll take my bedroom with me.
To say he's got an RV, so
It's more
Oh,
fun.
there
It's
you
more
go.
fun that way. Yeah.
Even better. Heck yeah. Good.
Okay. Well, I
Well,
guess
thank
that pretty
you.
much does it. I think I'm going to get a hold of Adam Drought. Adam is, as you all know, has pretty much kicked cancer's butt. And they are getting ready to, they're actually beginning to raise money now for an upcoming bike ride for Roswell. Him and his brother, he's going to ride with his brother this year. So we're going to get him on and let him promote it. And we're going to start raising some funds for him. And I think we got a good person that just might be able to help out with that a little bit. It's for a great cause. And we'll see.
Okay.
I guess that's really about it.
say that's all I've got.
You sure? I don't
I'm
believe
like
it.
almost sure. Yeah, almost.
Okay, great. Well, next Wednesday, 8 o'clock. I'm gonna smash this phone if it dings one more time. Next Wednesday, 8 o'clock. We'll have somebody on here. I'm going to shoot for Adam, I do believe, and of course we have Brian Rutroff will be coming on probably the week after that or the following week. So,
Which is crazy that it's that close to February already. Holy cow.
man, I'm telling you, time flies. Time
Sure
is
does,
flying.
yeah.
So like, subscribe, share, Trackside Live. Check them out. Social media, Facebook, and I'm sure probably Instagram. And
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're working on that. So more to come this year. I think we'll have a YouTube up and running this year as well. So stay tuned. Yeah.
Awesome. There you go. YouTube is a lot of fun. A
Yeah.
lot of fun stuff. Okay. Until next Wednesday, I'm not ready yet. Kendra, go ahead.
I was going to say, while he's down there trying to figure out how to end the show, thanks everybody for joining tonight. We will be back next Wednesday at 8 o'clock. Just hang out. We'll chat more behind the scenes here.
Okay.
Are you ready to close down now?